季后赛的战场上，银龙为界，8强对弈。为兵者既闻钟鼓之声，见旌旗之列，何不奋勇向前，尽赴敌场？
班底虽新，配合依旧，过早离场未免无趣。我们的身体里还有无限的能量。
兵棋尽移，卒子过河尽回头。不弃之人，能否重回旧日辉煌？
求胜之路曲折漫长，披荆斩棘，未曾止步，清零过往的事，我们重新出发。
新老更替，临时重组，重炮强弩之下，怎样跨过楚河，直击腹地？
心怀希望，落子无悔。新一代的骑士早已做好洗礼的准备。
马踏斜日，成长总要经历。荆楚少年将碰壁停歇，亦或冲破万难。
尘埃汇聚，才有了发光的机会。别停下，我们的征途才刚刚开始。
居行坦途，前程似海，屡求不得，又该如何为自己证明？
冠军之志，每一步都绝非易事，从不瞻前顾后，大胆的去走我的路。
坐镇中军，慧眼识人方可为帅。辉煌过后，是否也会难做抉择？
诸将未定，时间会给出答案。再度涅槃又何妨？区区汉界，休想困住凤凰。
飞向开局，跨越原野，名列前茅仍有质疑，成为一流还差什么？
相信自己有能力，那么你就真的会有。蜕变过后，正是收获的季节。
将者智信仁勇严也，新生战绩，终点会是何方？
以步之遥，再临巅峰。这一次我们不容有失，落日之时，定会风轻云淡。
That video gives me chills every single time. Welcome to the LPL, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the penultimate best of 5 here at the LPL Spring 2020 playoffs. My name is Munchables. I'm joined by Dagda. And boy, do we have a series on our hands. We're jumping to FPX up against IG.
I cannot wait for this series. Some of the best players in the LPL will now face off against each other to decide who will take the 3rd place in our split.
It really is going to be a battle for these guys. But let's have a look at how we got here first. You can see in our bracket, it was a pretty crazy, it felt a little bit scripted with all the 3-1s across the whole of the playoff bracket, but then JDG upturned the script, getting a 3-0 victory over the world champions to make it to the finals. You can see our finals are Top Esports against JDG, but today we're jumping into our 3rd and 4th place match. It's IG against FPX.
And this is such an intense series. Former world champion against current world champion. And we now get to see them face off against each other in today's series.
And I think that's the most exciting thing, is the amount of history behind these two rosters in recent years, because it is world champs versus world champs. It's 2018 versus 2019. And we have had a couple of little roster changes coming on into not just into this split, but also in today's match. We're going to see Khan stepping on into the roster. We're going to see Ning stepping back into the IG roster. So this is going to be a much more interesting matchup to me than what we saw out of the semifinals, because I was wanting to see Khan. I was wanting to see Ning. So we get to see a little bit more interesting stuff.
But that's the thing here. We're looking at what was the former world champions from 2018. They have looked a little bit shaky coming in since that big performance where we saw them take to the world stage. Same with FPX, winning in our summer playoffs, now getting the world championship, but coming into spring split, they've definitely looked a lot shakier.
Yeah, both of these teams coming into spring split have looked a little bit shaky, and obviously, I mean, it's difficult to say, because both of them at times during the split looked incredibly strong. And I mean, IG finished the split in 1st place, but it was the amount of losses that they had in this series that made it it didn't quite feel like 1st place. It didn't feel like a solid 1st place. But before we get into the nitty-gritty of this matchup, let's have a little trip down memory lane of 2018 and the IG back then that managed to win the world champion. Because I know it's a long time ago, but when you think back to it, when you think back to the 6 skins that they managed to get for themselves, that was with JackeyLove, that was with Baolan.
and now it's a different looking roster, but this is definitely the IG that we still see hints of today. This lane dominant style, taking over the game and then running away with it off of this win lane, win game style.
Yeah, and you've got the Shy there, you've got Rookie there, those guys still the big names within this roster, but they're going up against FPX, and FPX's glory is a little bit more recent, just last year, and their skins, I'm sure you guys have all seen them already. Their skins have been announced, and their roster is still mostly the same, but with a bonus top laner stepping in.
Yeah, Khan will be stepping in today to provide a little bit more X factor up against the Shy, but still you can see Gingoon part of this roster, and that's been the roster they've played throughout playoffs. It is still the same team from that 2019 World Championship.
But before we do start talking about Khan, because that's a conversation I'm really interested in, but Khan versus the Shy is a big old matchup. Let's go further down memory lane. Let's revisit what happened for IG back in 2018.
Wimpo continuing to try to chase. Belong going to be taken down about half, but here comes the counterattack going through now. Wimpo taken very low. JackeyLove looking to find the damage, has the auto attacks. That's the first kill of the fight. Shy still looking to find someone else. Won't be able to land the stun, as now it's Rookie who will scatter the weak to the wind as a double kill for Jackie. Signals no chance for Fnatic. Brox and Hylissang will run away into the reinforcements as Hylissang tries to buy some time. Caps and Soaz make their way into the fight, but Jackie's already dominating. Rookie's able to find the lockdown. The damage comes through. It's JackeyLove. Caps will be the last man standing, but he will fall. The LPL has never won before, but that will change today. The Crownless are finally king, and Invictus Gaming are your 2018 World Champions.
And just remember that that was the first time that the LPL won the World Championship. And still looking back on that, thinking about this roster, it just gives you chills remembering the dominance that we saw, especially from the Shy in the top lane.
Yeah, and it was the first time as well that we'd seen IG pick up anything. They hadn't been able to secure either of the playoffs in 2018, and then coming in and taking the World Championship in such a commanding fashion as well. It's delightful to see just how far the LPL has come.
And it's a fairly similar story for FPX as well. They got just one domestic title that made it on to the World Championships themselves, and a lot of people weren't sure about the finals, but FPX, they were definitely sure. Let's take another look at their match against G2.
Terrifying. There goes the teleport. The Tian, you beauty, gets the double kill for FPX. The flash available. LWX will flash away from Mickey's flash. It's traded 1-for-1. Here comes Perkz. Here comes Caps. Duabee's the target. Gets caught up on the final breath, but the hero's entrance does so much to save him. FPX cannot be stopped, cannot be contained, cannot be controlled. Kills Gingoon. The Nexus is being focused. It's going down, and Fun plus Phoenix are your world champions. Are back to
another 3-0, back-to-back now, 6-0 is the LPL in the last two World Champions. And now, both of them coming into 2020, kind of in the form that you've seen from FPX and IG in the past, not performing quite to that level in Spring.
No, they haven't been able to quite perform to the same extent that we were hoping for. And as you can see, I mean, they're in the third, fourth place match. They weren't able to push themselves in towards our finals, but still this team, both these teams are incredibly dominant, incredibly scary. And to see both the raw power on these squads going up against each other today is going to be such an exciting match.
Yeah, I mean, you know it's dominant squads when you're talking about them not performing in a third and fourth place match. But let's take a look at the rosters as they stand coming into today's matchup here, because we mentioned the roster changes and how it's changed since they won the World Championship. Lian has stepped in for Invictus Gaming, although it'll be Ning starting in our first game today. But it's Puff and Southwind are the standout new players for Invictus Gaming.
And when you look down towards FPX, it's going to be Khan coming in over Gingoon today. Khan has been brought in to bring a little bit more of that X factor, that carry potential from the top lane. And especially when we're looking at Khan versus the Shy here today, this is where you're going to need that extra carry, that extra gusto in the top lane to take on the Shy.
Yeah, with Ning stepping forward in the IG roster, I think that we'll see a little bit more around the top lane. I think we'll see him focusing on the Shy a bit more than what we saw out of Lian earlier on in playoffs. But we'll get to that when we get into the game. We'll see how Ning's going to play this one out. Because first, I want to talk about the mid lane. We've got Rookie up against Super Carry Duanbe. Both of these guys, I mean, Rookie in his series against Top looked exceptional.
And I like that both of these mid laners exemplify how their teams like to play. FPX work as a unit to control side lanes and start this early game snowball to take over in the mid lane. And this is where Doinby, on champions like Ryze, on champions like Galio, will look to have his influence on the map and start things early for FPX.
And you can see that here in the clip, Doinby moving down to the bottom side in Game 3 against JDG, and even when they were losing out in this series, still able to impact the map in the early game. Rookie on the other side, though, he's just going to look for solo kills. He's going to look to take down, arguably, the best mid laner in the LPL. Although Yagao, I think, is going to have to argue with that tomorrow.
I mean, IG, this is all about solo lane dominance. The way that this team plays is heavily win lane, win game, and they will look to overwhelm you with their sheer skill. So expect a lot of highlight moments in this game, and let's see how this is going to kick off.
That's all I want. I just want it to be an absolute bloodbath between these two teams. The fight for 10 championship points, but let's see who's going to be stepping on forward as we bring our lineups for today. FPX, you can see there, Khan coming on in. A lot of people saying maybe he's the X factor for this new version of FPX. We've yet to really see it this split, but I'm sure that they've had plenty of time to work on it for themselves. Ning as well, stepping back into the roster for IG. Puff and Southwind obviously replacing towards the start of this split.
And Puff and Southwind have been the steady bot lane for IG, the cornerstone that allows the Shy and Rookie to go nuts. So expect a lot of bans still focused down towards that bottom lane. But as I say that though, you've got to always watch out against IG. Kalista and Lucian are not bottom lane bans, they are solo lane bans.
They certainly are. And so far in playoffs, against IG, we've seen Kalista and Lucian banned 100% of their games. Against FPX, we've seen Rumble and Galio banned against them 100% of their games. The Rumble has been taken off the board. Both the Lucian and Kalista are. We'll see if IG will respect this Galio pick from Doinby.
And the funny thing is, we've only seen Doinby pick it up once. He's only had a single game on that Galio, and it's still that respect is coming in. So there's obviously something churning behind the scenes that teams are afraid to pass over, but the Nautilus ban from both Doinby and Crisp.
And now the question is, how much of a priority pick is that Galio? I don't think it's first pickable, realistically. A Galio, you kind of need to build a composition around it, and FPX decide they want to go for an AD carry first.
And now you're in a situation as FPX, well, a lot of those big AD carries are already banned, the Varus, the likes of the Kalista. I'd imagine Misfortune is going to be next up for Puff here. Again, does well against the Aphelios. You can push him back out of these fights. And I'd like to again see maybe something picked up towards the jungle, but this is IG. They don't care about standard drafts. They don't care about what you think they should do. Yeah. They are all in on solo lanes, and they want their picks locked in first.
And Rookie, after losing to Knight Syndra almost 4 games in a row, basically, wants that Syndra for himself. But importantly, that Jace, that's a priority pick for the Shy, for Rookie, and for Khan.
And here's what we look towards. So when we go towards Syndra, this is actually something Doinby struggled against in FPX's semi-finals. He wasn't able to get these roams off on his Ryze, and that was where FPX started to fall short. So IG already locking in this dominant mid laner for themselves. And don't forget, flexibility with Syndra to go down to the bottom lane. And as you said, the Shy on this Jace will be looking to take over top lane. Not so easy against the likes of an Ornn, though, who can be this sponge for a lot of that DPS.
I'm really hoping the Ornn is like flex to support or something, because I really want Khan and the Shy to go toe-to-toe in the top lane, but I'm expecting the GOAT God himself in Khan's hands, and now we'll see where FPX go, whether they want to find their mid lane matchup. The Galio that we talked about could be locked in, but they're going for a jungler. Although, solo lane Graves does exist.
Yeah, this is something we've actually seen in a lot of Chinese solo queue. Is this solo lane Graves? It's a big pick over here, but I still think it will be going towards the jungle. It's been the home of Graves for the longest of times, and actually something that was played against Tian. JDG picked this up in their series, so I wouldn't be surprised to see this as a little bit of a safe fixture towards Tian to have control in this jungle matchup.
On the other side of the board, IG going to grab that Lee Sin for the side of Ning. And now onto the draft, or onto the ban phase once again, sorry. We'll see where IG want to pinch onto the side of FPX, and you'd expect them to be looking towards that mid lane.
It makes the most sense here, especially when you already saw the Galio hovered, FPX considering taking that in their first rotation. So this is where you start to get rid of some of the beefier bruiser styles so that then the Syndra can have a fun time. Get rid of your Sylas, you've already got the Nautilus gone. I wouldn't be surprised to see the Galio, but you've always got to give respect to Doinby's Rise. It is his most played, but also one that only has a 29% win rate. So a little bit of respect, but maybe not as much as people usually think.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, a lot of the games that Doinby has played on Rise this split were in playoffs games.
3 games.
Their playoff games haven't looked that good. So it's understandable that the win rate doesn't necessarily match the priority. On the other side, Ezreal found a way.
So I like what they're thinking here because, okay, we've already got a Syndra, we've got a Jace. This could be a very heavy poke composition. So you've got to be worried about something like that Ezreal that could set things up for yourself in the bottom lane. But there's always, as we talked about, that flexibility here with the Syndra where you can put the Syndra down into the bottom side of the map. Does really well against the Aphelios and even take a Corki in the mid lane for Rookie. But this doesn't feel like an IG style of game. I would expect still that Syndra to go towards Rookie in the mid lane.
Yeah, certainly would be expecting that. Bear in mind, Senna is still open. Senna, one of the most played AD carries for Puff across this split. It's something that, earlier on in the split at least, Puff and Southwind were playing quite a lot of that Senna. It's fallen off in priority in a big way, and with Tahm Kench removed, that makes the Senna even more difficult to lock in.
It's also this great disengaged champion that's been removed from IG. When you talk about poke, when you're looking towards Siege, having that pick removed makes it a little bit more difficult for you to fall back. So I'd imagine still Southwind can go towards his most played, which is the likes of the Braum if he wants to here, which still provides that disengage. And with the Misfortune there, fantastic wave clear, and can provide a lot of that siege potential off of the bullet time.
And just look at the composition from IG so far. Pure mid-game power right there. I'm expecting a brawl coming out from them, but I feel like I say that every time I cast IG. I expect a brawl out of them. Crisp, though, goes for the Leona here alongside Aphelios, and now we'll see what Doinby is going to bring to the mid lane.
Could be that Twisted Fate. We've seen it before, and he actually locked it in against the Syndra. Can be a little bit of a struggle if you decide to go toward it. Opted for the cleanse in the last situation, but I prefer this Galio. I think just this overall composition that can deal with the 1-3-1, can separate out the likes of IG here so they can't push as effectively against you. And if you do end up finding these engages that work for you, Leona can go quite far in. You've got the Ornn and the Leona as well to set up these long-range engages, which is something IG want to try and dissuade as much as possible with this composition.
Yeah, so this we'll finally find out why the Galio has been 100% ban against FPX so far in the playoffs. Bear in mind, that's across 7 games. That's a lot of bans on the Galio. Doinby finally grabs his hand on that for the second time this split. Southwind going to go to Old Faithful in the Braum alongside Puff.
Yeah, this makes the most sense. We talked about it. Disengage is fantastic. You just want to kite back as this composition from IG. So again, it's for IG, win your lane through these dominant champions and then set up for sieges off the back of this. When you look over towards FPX, though, they want to try and at least weather the storm a little bit and then set up as this 5-man unit where you can either have these great engages around team fights or split off into a 1-3-1 where you have Khan pushing one way, Doinby off in a side lane as well. And, well, actually probably more of a 1-4 because you'd like Khan to be there to start off and engage alongside the Leona and have Doinby fly in from off in the side lane.
So you mentioned that FPX need to weather the storm in the early game. What does that actually look like with this composition? What has Tian got to be doing to make sure that his teammates can survive these lanes?
So the beauty about the Graves is how fast your clear is. You can oftentimes get out onto the map, get some early vision down, make sure you're controlling the likes of Scuttle Crabs. And it's more about trying to enable Doinby in a lot of these situations. When that Galio hits that level 6, he wants to be moving on around the map, but that can be a little bit of a struggle with this matchup against the Syndra. Syndra looking to push waves continuously and make it a bit of a nuisance. So if you can get these early ganks as TN towards mid lane, enable Doinby to get out onto the map, you can have a lot more success, especially on when you've got a Leona and an Ornn. Both these want to be aggressively getting on towards their targets and engages, and if you've got the likes of a Galio popping in on top of that, makes it quite difficult to escape.
Well, we're already into game, Tag 2. We've kicked off game number 1 here between FPX and IG, but Shy, he has himself the Jace in the top lane. It's his signature pick. It's something we've seen countless wins on for him. He's about to get invaded 1v2 right here. Tian wanted to find his way in. He I think he only spotted Khan, but I'm not 100% sure on that one. Ning is going to be here to defend his red buff, though.
I don't see any funny business in around this red buff right now. Both teams just trying to scout out starting positions and see where the enemy is. Ning, starting on this top side of the map, will be able to path down towards bot and more than likely try to play towards Rookie or Puff in these scenarios. The Shy will be just trying to poke out Khan as much as possible, but keep your eyes on this game on the double Unseed spellbook for FPX.
Yeah.
Doinb looking to opt into cleanse in some of these scenarios to stop the engage from Rookie, and in the top lane as well, Khan. This is a bit of a standard rune choice when you're in these ranged matchups, whereas Ornn, where you'll struggle, because it just gives you more opportunity to opt into some of these summoner spells that can help you out, like the heal, exhaust, or even ignite in certain scenarios. But the reduced summoner spell cooldown means you can get back to lane and have that reduced summoner spell cooldown as well for joining in these fights.
I'm telling you, man, Doinb loves the unsealed spellbook. I don't think there's a single champion that he wouldn't be willing to take the unsealed spellbook on. We saw it on his Twisted Fate as well. Looked amazing with that. We'll see how it's going to work out on the Galio in the mid lane. But this is just Doinb doing Doinb things. But now Tian going to be clearing up towards the top side here. But Ning actually faster on the clears so far when it comes to his buffs, because he didn't stop to do his chickens.
So Tian will be moving, as he said, towards the blue, then can opt in towards the scuttle on top side. And both junglers on opposite end of the maps. And I'm not surprised to see this trying to kick off, because what you're going to be looking for is Ning, as we said, to try and maybe set up something in the mid lane alongside Rookie, but also try and play down towards this bottom side a little bit. You have good gank setup if Southwind's able to hop forward and get onto LWX, but we'll have to see how they can try and play this one out. Tian, though, trying to move top side.
Yeah, wants to start Khan off on the right foot here. And let's bear in mind, the series between IG and top was all about shutting down the Shy. Flashes away already. And they'll take that. They'll take an early summoner.
And the problem here for the Shy is where the wave is starting to push out now. So he's got to play overly cautious, especially with no flash available. Tien can look to go for a repeat gank on this top side.
Ning, though, wants a piece of the action. And this is what we were hoping for, the 2v2 brawl in the top lane. Khan still around, Tian moving in as well. Ning, though, has found the 2v1 for now. Jumps on in, knock up, though, and Tian has a lot of damage. The Shy needs to be careful here. Burning down is brittle. Can't be broken, though. Ning flashes forward, gets himself first blood, jumps away to the Shy. And now Tian, in the wrong side of things, torn from Doinb, trades the kill back on towards Rookie. Now as Tian gets the slow. Rookie still has his flash available, has to use it very early on, but Tian follows. He wants more blood, and Rookie will fall to the graves. No, Galio grabs it.
Start as you want to finish, and FPX and IG have started this series off bloody. It is a victory for FPX, and able to get Khan at least a little bit of those assists. But in the bottom
we're
lane,
not done just yet, though. Southwind takes a huge chunk of damage, and Helios! Oh, the damage is terrifying. The Gravitum, the Calibrum, it's so difficult to lane against this champion.
So now when we look at where our map state is, though, look, Doinb. 2 kills now picked up for himself. He's going to back. He's got that Forbidden Idol, or not the Forbidden Idol even. He's got that Lost Chapter picked up for himself, and that'll give him a great amount of push power if he wants to in this mid lane to shove in Rookie and then look to continue with these plays off towards side lane.
And let's just revisit the fact that what we were talking about on the desk before this game began was these two mid laners, how they are going to match up. And we said for Rookie, the strength is winning out in the individual lane. And you can see that in the CS advantage he's got. But when it comes to the roams, Galio is going to offer so much more.
And this is why we're... Oh, hang on, top side.
Oh, the Shy wants a 1v1. There's a lot of health for Khan, though. That's going to be a difficult one to do without cooldown.
You say that, though, but that's a single combo. I mean, look at the mana that's still on the Shy here. He can look to rinse and repeat here. So it'll be Khan who's looking to very quickly gain this armor up underneath them to stop the Shy from bullying him out. And when you've got the phase rush here on Jace, it opts in 2 roles where you can either go very aggressive in these trades against melee champions because you get the speed up very easily off the W proc and hammer form, or when you're in these team fights at a later stage, you've got so much maneuverability and speed up thanks to your acceleration gate. It makes you really difficult to pin down for the likes of Khan and Doinb.
Very nice little interaction there. Rookie actually made Doinb miss a couple of CS. He was going for the Colossal Smash. Scatter the Weak denies him getting his passive off, denies the CS. But Doinb's forgotten about that CS already, because he's got his eyes on another brawl. He knows the Shy has no flash. Winter Wall comes through. He's not actually going to commit to the play, though.
walked up, but Shy was already underneath the tower. I was even looking towards Ning, who was hovering by on those Krugs. Nearly a disastrous moment there. If IG had been able to turn onto him, no flash meant that he could have gone down very easily. I want to see what we talked about just coming out of Champ Select. Ward coverage down from Tien.
He did only miss 2 CS for that, though, so it's like the way that Doinb thinks about the game, the way you can see him thinking about the game is, look, I'm willing to sacrifice 40 gold for the potential of 300, and that's a mentality I can get behind. Khan's taking a lot of damage in the top lane. He's got a good amount of armor, though.
Coming back to Doinb, though, there is times where he'll just abandon the lane altogether for no real reason, and it won't be 2 CS, it'll be like 10. One of the games I was watching, he just wandered towards a blue buff, missed 2 entire waves just to pick up a blue buff. So, yes, I do agree that there are times Doinb will roam correctly and think, okay, we're min-maxing our gold here to try and get as much spread across the team, but there's also times he's just doing Doinb things.
The Shy is looking scary, though, in this top lane already. He's starting to make Khan's life real difficult, and he's going to push this whole wave underneath the tower shortly. Although, I think he's going to stop pushing. Because bear in mind, Khan has Barmy Cinder. If he stays too close to the wave, it will naturally push the way towards Shy.
Well, the Shy really wants to try and bounce this wave because he always has to be careful where Tian is, but now that he's spot on the bottom side.
Rookie says no. He's playing Syndra, and that goes the way of Nick. Very nicely done from IG.
Is this and the Tam Cage are the most frustrating things for enemy teams? But here we go, Rookie.
Hang on. Tian's level 6, though. He's got a lot of damage right now. Southwind is here. So is Crisp. He's on the Leona, and he can lock this team down. Zen's playing only on Southwind, but in comes Galio, and Rookie has already fallen to Doinb. That's the hat trick on the Galio. Now LWX arrives on the scene as well. Looks for the kick, but it's not going to... Oh, what? Khan's got a solo kill in the meantime. What is going on?
I don't know. I actually thought FPX were in a really bad situation there because Puff had started to roam faster than LWX, but IG managed to get the kill, or actually lose the kill, and FPX are able to scatter before the rest of IG show up. And in the top lane, we need to get a replay of that.
Yeah, and this is this has been playoffs for the Shy. Honestly, he's really struggled in that top lane, and Khan on this on pick is doing well, but another kill going to go the way of Doinb, by the way. I can't even finish a sentence before he finds more blood. 4-0-0.
And this, oh, hang on. We're not done yet, Munch.
This is what we wanted. This is the brawl we were hoping for. In we go. 2v3, though. Southwind blocks the Moonlight Vigil. Crisp is going to be able to keep himself safe. There's an exhaust as well. Tian can't close the gap onto this bottom lane. You can see the roams coming from IG, and FPX respect it.
But this is how FPX like to play. We talked about a grouping as a unit, forcing early game control onto their opponents. And with 4 kills to Doinb right now, it's only going to get worse. But here's that replay we talked about. The Shy has very little mana to go for this. Once that mana's gone, Khan can just turn this.
Yeah, I'm really curious about the damage here. It's just Call of the Forge God, basically. Procs the Brittle, and then the minions finish the job.
It was the Ignite as well. That's the power of the Unsealed Spellbook, being able to bring in these more aggressive summoner spells when you need it. But the Shy hasn't played a lot of Ornn, and you can see there, not expecting that damage to come back.
Doinb is already invincible. He doesn't even have any MR. That's just Galio's native MR with the shield that you get from his passive on W. And it just means that Rookie is already having a really hard time. Look at Rookie's items. Doinb already has his Protobelt.
This is FPX putting a stamp on game number 1, and it feels like this win lane, win game style is not coming true for IG right now.
Yeah, the win lane, win game style doesn't really work when you lose lane. That becomes a significant issue at that point.
Step 1, we can't even check it off the list right now.
It's, oh dear. Now, the Shy goes in. I thought he was going to go in onto Card. I was like, I don't know about that one. In the meantime, IG, they start off the Herald.
Yeah, you can see, though, FPX are all here. Now they're going to make a play into Shy once again.
No, forget the Herald. We got to fight. The Shy flashes away, but collateral damage. He doesn't even need collateral damage. Just finishes it with an auto. Now the rest of the team, those in trouble. Crisp is already low. Doinb is so damn tanky, and LWX can just finish the fight. Gets kicked back, though, and answered for by Ning. Nice little answer there from IG to at least find one.
They will find one, but Jungler is still up for FPX, and they can continue towards this Rift Herald if they want to, especially with Rookie completely out of mana here, no teleport to get back to the fight. But I think they're a little bit nervous about the Shy and his teleport and returning to the scrap.
So the Herald still untaken, and IG are the ones on the scene right now. They could start that, but they want to contest onto Tian. They don't want to let him get his blue buff for free. They know the rest of his team recalled. Sonic Wave will land, and they go for the smite. It actually went the way of Tian, though, and now he wants a 2v1. He's just going to keep the fights rolling right here. Puffs arrived. They all back away, but hey, Tian got his blue buff.
Tian gets the blue buff. Southwind needs the back, though. There's still a lot of members of FPX up towards this Rift Herald. Khan looking to take over in this top lane, and this is something we've seen from the Shy before. More career deaths than kills. He wants to add one more right now.
Zuni 0 and 3, and it might get worse from here. No flash available. Crisp has found him. 2 B's joining the party as well. Ning runs away with his tail between his legs, and now on towards the top lane tower.
And here's how Doinby is approached Rookie, saying, hey, look, you want to kill me in lane? You have the most solo kills in the LPL? Well, try and kill me if I'm never in lane. I am everywhere on the map. I am omnipresent, and I am taking down the Shy over and over.
And we said the Galio across the 7 games in playoffs so far for FPX has been banned against them 100% of the time. This is why.
IG, though, now trying to answer for a play on the bottom side. LWX, you've gone too far, buddy.
Uh-oh, flashes away from the scat of the week. And that is all of the dive potential gone. Braum is not much of a dive champ.
Well, it's a nice pan on the back for IG to try and get something back, but this 3,000 gold lead FPX have gained in 12 minutes does not want to slow. Crisp off on the side. Has the solar flare available as well.
Crisp might try and make a play here. In the meantime, Tian has moved up to the top side yet again. The Shy is there flashless yet again. Oh, in fact, I think that was a replay of the last gank that came on
There's
through.
been so many things happening.
I could have easily believed that that was going down right now. Rookie keeps his blue buff safe, though. We'll just finish that with him. I was worried that was going to reset.
I like the way Tian is surprised, though, that this is going to happen. Still, though, trying to get that invade, trying to get some control again onto Ning and keep IG on their toes. But let's look at the whole map right now for FPX, because you've got a winning top lane, a 40 CS lead for this Ornn over the Shy's Jace. When you look towards mid lane, yes, you don't have the CS, but you've got the kills for Doinby. And bottom lane has been slowly going LWX favored mid-game focused team. You're looking at about 2 items for both the Syndra and the Misfortune for when they really come online. Same with the Shy with the build he's trying to go for. This Manamune lethality build is going to be coming online at about the 20-minute mark. But the problem is that they're so far behind right now that FPX are hitting their strengths.
That Zenith blade didn't land. Puff has to cleanse away from the solar flare. Exhaust onto Tian as well. Collateral damage is available, but he's not going to go for it in the end. Realizes that Braum's going to block it. LWX gets a turret, though. 2 dragons up, a turret up, but more importantly, 4,000 gold up for FPX.
And think about how FPX are going to scale. You've got Tian, who's only going to get stronger as this Graves. Khan, who's going to get tankier and provide all those Ornn items for the rest of the team. Alongside LWX and this Aphelios, we know what Aphelios can do when he hits that late game portion. IG need to find an early way of turning this game around, but FPX aren't giving it to them.
Not so far, at least. And when we look towards the top lane as well, because realistically, the strategy for FPX this game has focused on shut down the Shy. Let him have his Jace. Let him have something squishy that we can just camp. And this is the same strategy we saw out of Top Esports in the semi-final as well. But going for a lethality build up against this Ornn means you are going to have a really rough time in that lane, because lethality, it don't work when they're building armor.
And both these squads are so good at snowballing the game out of control. FPX have the second shortest win time in the league, and IG hold the record for the shortest win time.
Shy's been found by Chris. Nice dodge on the Zenith Blade there. I was about to be corrected there because, as I was saying, the Ghost Blade is not going to do so well onto the Ornn, but against the Graves that has no armor whatsoever, that Ghost Blade's going to do work.
Definitely will, and so will the poke that he can get onto LWX, but unfortunately poke is not enough to dissuade the FPX AD carry. He will pick up the second turret of the game for FPX, and now they can start to turn their attention towards this mid lane. So far, all they want to do is start, I was going to say push in, but
they want to fight right now. They're going underneath the tower. Doinby gets the taunt. Look at the CC chain. There is nothing you can do. And Rookie, he's got a TP, but he's going to go down.
This is disgusting from FPX. There has not been a moment in time where IG have been giving any sort of respite. And now you have this big Khan who can sit onto the bottom lane. You've got Galio who can go up to the top side for Doinb. And when this next Rift Herald spawns, they'll just toss that mid, get this turret, and then start to put further pressure onto IG.
This has been, honestly, a near flawless game so far from FPX. The way that they're playing around the map, the way that they are manipulating IG now into the mid lane once again. Southwind forced to use his stopwatch. Moonlight Vigil only onto Ning. Honestly, just the pressure across the entire board from FPX. This is difficult to watch if you're an IG fan.
It really is, but it shows how FPX have changed from their 2019 World Championship squad. Even when they've got Gimgoon in the roster, they're putting less attention down towards LWX and Crisp. LWX and Crisp have been doing a fantastic job of finding their own advantages in lane, just outbeating their opponents with just their sheer skill alone, which opens up Doinb to play towards what was Gimgoon in the top lane. But now that you've got Khan, this guy who likes to get involved, likes to find these kills for himself, they've taken on an entirely new strategy with this further carry potential in the top lane to situate with the rest of FPX.
This is much more what we wanted to see out of Khan as well. When we think back to how he's performed this split and how FPX has performed with him on the roster, it felt like something was missing. It felt like when they played with Gimgoon, it was more coherent. It was more of this FPX that we know. This version of Khan, we didn't really get to see during the regular split, and it feels way better again for them.
It feels like it was FPX trying to figure out how to play with Khan. It was. I always thought that Khan was the higher ceiling for FPX, like we're seeing right now, when they can get all the pieces working together. But it felt like they needed a little bit more time to get those pieces. Now, though, they're unstoppable.
Knock up onto Southwind. Already used his stopwatch, remember, but he jumps away to safety. Doinb gets the blue buff. 30 seconds until an Infernal Drake. And that would be the third Drake of the game for FPX if they can grab it.
Third Drake at 19 minutes is absolutely insane. We'd be looking at a 25-minute Infernal Soul for these guys. FPX have already opted into controlling the waves on these sides as well. You can see top lane slowly but surely going to start pushing in their favor. On the bottom side, Doinb has this one in control as well.
Bear in mind, Doinb, we know that he doesn't have the TP, but he's on the Galio, so the hero's entrance always going to be available. Or is it the Grand Entrance?
Hero's entrance. You're right. You're right. Grand entrance is Rakan.
It's Rakan. I know.
We got none of them this time.
It's basically the same name. Yeah. Easy to get confused
same
now, though.
Ability,
Dragon,
but smaller.
Yeah, it's like a giant version across the entire map. Now onto Dragon, though. Tian going to start this one off, and immediately Ning tries to find a fight, but he can't get the kick. Taunted and pushed away. That was Moonlight Vigil, though. 2 ults used from the side of FPX, but ultimately it secures an Infernal Drake.
I feel like if I'm Ning, though, the last person I want to engage on in FPX is Doinb. This guy is real tanky, has the Zhonya's Hourglass, and even if I manage to kick him, Galio wants to be in the middle of my team.
Yeah, and do you know who doesn't? Ning. He's been knocked up and he's forced to flash away, but it's Southwind that's been found and finished off. No, flashes away to safety. Rookie, though's in trouble as Khan jumps in underneath the tower. Bullet time comes on through, but it's too early. It won't clear the wave, and that means this tower's in trouble. Puff's in trouble too. Flashes to safety. They're gonna go for the fight, but it's FPX just muscling IG out of the mid lane, and now they can go wherever they please.
And it's IG who were supposed to be the bullies, but FPX are turning it back on them. They've taken over the early game. They've taken over the mid game, and their composition controls the late game. FPX are looking to shut down IG in such a formidable fashion.
Such fantastic play coming from FPX. Ning, though, looking for Tian. He will be able to get the recall off in the end. But he realizes that Ning comes back into the jungle and he finds a barren wasteland. Everything's been taken. There's nothing on the map for IG to try and find.
And the funny thing about IG is when we look towards how quick they are in their victories, they're also incredibly fast in their losses. It's FPX who are actually able to put up more of a fight from behind, but IG will always look to engage, will always look to scrap, and unfortunately when you don't have any sort of entrance in the fight, when you're falling behind so monumentally, it only hurts them more and more.
This game is starting to get a little bit out of hand now for IG. They're getting to a point where...
Starting?
Well, yeah. I mean, it's been out of hand for a little while, but what I'm trying to say is this is the mid-game composition we were talking about. We're in the mid-game. We're well and truly in the mid-game. We're going to start to move out of the mid-game if they can't find some wins for themselves in these fights and these skirmishes. In 3 minutes, an Infernal will spawn, and that would be the soul for FPX. Baron is on the map, and there's an Aphelios on the side of FPX. So these objectives will snowball this into an outright victory if IG can't find something.
There's a level lead for FPX across the board. There is an item lead for FPX across the board. And they are so damn confident in their lead right now, they're just going to blind this Baron.
Oh, Crisp wants to fight though. Ning doesn't get caught by the Zenith Blade. Huge damage though coming on through. And now Khan, he wants to fight. Southwind does block it, but Ning's already fallen. And the Shy, I'm pretty sure LWX can 1v1 him right now. Southwind will fall and once, oh, great bullet time, but the taunt to Bay goes in and ruins them. Rookie's got no damage, and FPX can do anything. They can go anywhere. This map is theirs.
FPX are manhandling IG. They don't want to turn towards the Baron just yet. Health bars are a little bit too low, but they are still commanding this game. They will now spend that well-earned gold and turn towards this Baron again. You just saw how devastating that engage was for IG and how quick the engage from FPX can be. How do IG try and stop this?
And just think back to the World Semi-Finals. These two teams faced off, and it was FPX that won out that matchup. Now, in 2020, we're in a best-of-5 between these two teams, and FPX are looking dominant.
And you can see here, the engage from Khan is perfect. Finding the flank. Oh, but actually, look at the replay in the bottom left. There's more fighting going on.
Yeah, there's no time for replays in this one, because Ning has been taunted up. Doomby has the damage, and Crisp is here. Tian and LWX are going to cut off the retreat. Crisp won't commit to it in the end, though. Damage from Doomby on the backside of it. 1 minute until this Infernal Drake. That's what they're really looking for.
They are just going to get complete control of this jungle. You can already see the wards that are being put down. They're clearing out the vision as they go. And FPX looking to just choke out IG, stopping them from approaching this. And even if you do as IG, Khan is going to be able to get onto you with the Call of the Forge God. You've got the Solar Flare to close the distance as well. And if by some miracle you manage to poke them out and get them low, you've got to deal with Galio as well. And Doinby has been incredibly good at getting into these positions to allow him to flank and get onto IG.
We are getting to a point in the game, though, where some items are starting to come through for the side of IG. They will have the damage if they can find a pig. Khan is not that pig, though. He is practically invincible at this point in the game. Oh, we've got to fight, though. FPX are going to go in. Nice scatter the weak to stop the engage. Goodbye, the Shy. That's an Infernal Soul.
Shy seems to be allergic to his flash button because he shouldn't have got caught by that engage, especially with the Solar Flare and the Call of the Forge God down. IG, though.
Oh, they know that they had to contest for this one. There's an easy kill and an easy fight for Aphelios. LWX with the triple. Rookie, the last one left, and he'll go down as Khan Scumbag steals the Quadra.
You can hear LWX shouting for that. Give me the Quadra, but it's not passed over. FPX, though, will pick up this Infernal Soul. They will turn towards the Baron, and with the fight, the objectives, and the control in their favor, FPX are starting out amazingly in game number 1.
Yeah, and I was considering FPX having control here. I was like, yeah, they'll be able to get the soul. Maybe IG could trade for the Baron. No. FPX, they get the soul, they get the Baron, they get everything onto the map, and now they get the opportunity to reset, move back in, and finish this one off.
Look how much of this map is blue. There's wards everywhere. Waves are pushed into IG's side. They don't know what's going on past their own tier 2s. Even in their own jungle, they barely have vision. This is FPX dictating the pace from start to finish, and IG have not been able to keep up.
This is FPX setting a precedent here in game number 1.
So I don't know why the Shy doesn't flash this. You've no Call of the Forge God, you've no Solar Flare, and if there was ever a moment for IG to try and get their poke started, that was the time. But getting caught on the edge of that Siri charge means FPX find one pick, and then not respecting that FPX can hide off in the wings once again, get caught on the second rotation.
That's the beauty of Crit 80 carries, ladies and gentlemen. When they have the chance, they will obliterate an entire team. Aphelios with the Infernum able to do just that. And now, with the Baron buff in their pockets, FPX can begin the siege to finish this one out. And IG, they're looking for a hope and a prayer if they want to make this one back in.
I don't even think a hope and a prayer will do it right
now. 2 hopes and 3 prayers.
An entire rosary bead of prayers is what they need right now, because you are 11,000 goal behind and 27 minutes into this game, and FPX are knocking on your base.
More than knocking, they are slamming down the door. Bear in mind, LWX, he's got 3 items. He's got the Hurricane with his Infinity Edge that's been upgraded by Khan. They can keep this one up all day. Doinb is actually going to recall, though, because he's got his teleport, and he wants to grab himself a bonus item before coming back into the fight.
This is a very forward.
He's not scared, Dagda. He ain't afraid of anything.
I should have realized. Look, Doinb has got everything he wants right now, and so much more. Pushing in this mid lane. IG aren't even able to contest with him because they're struggling to hold the top side of the map. And FPX, slowly but surely, are whittling away the health bars in these towers.
And Moonlight Vigil comes in, does not a whole lot, but the autos to follow will do a lot. Now onto the inhibitor in the top lane, in the mid lane as well at the same time. We need to see a final fight out of IG. They got to try and look for something because the base is falling apart before their very eyes. Ning goes in, gets the kick though. It's down onto LWX. He falls. Crisp getting low as well. Khan desperately trying to escape from this one. Tian is just looking for a 1v1. He's going to go down for himself. 2 more kills onto the FPX jungler. The pick was nice. They found something, but something for nothing here in game number 1 because FPX, they're 21-3 on the scoreboard. And they're going to be finishing out game number 1. The supers are pouring in 2 lanes. They've got the Baron buff still. The Nexus will fall, but not after another kill. Here we go for game number 1. FPX 1-0 over IG.
And look at the scoreline across the board on that team. 6-0 for Tien, 6-0 for Doinb, 5-1 for Khan. Everyone on that roster was just brutalizing IG.
Yeah, and for the Shy especially, I'm having flashbacks to his series against Top Esports because the Shy looking more like Dyrus in the top lane. He just wants to play League of Legends, man. He just wants to get back into lane, but Tian camping him, Doinb camping him. There's nothing he can do.
And even up against Khan as well. This is why FPX have flexed in Khan. This is the star power that they wanted in the top lane to contend with the Shy. But he's just been slapping him across the rift right now, taking over thanks to the playstyle of FPX. And this game highlighted the difference between these 2 teams. FPX, in the early stages of the game, getting Doinb out of lane, getting these invades with Tien, controlling what was happening on the map, picking up kills, and eventually that win lane, win game style that IG like to play for was so far behind that FPX could control the entirety of the map.
And here's the issue with the win lane, win game style. If the 2 lanes that you win are top lane and mid lane, and mid lane is never there, and top lane is losing, your late game insurance policy in the bottom lane isn't going to win the game. That's the whole point. Is Puff and Southwind aren't there to win lane by themselves. If you fall that far behind in the top lane, in the mid lane, you don't have a win condition anymore.
And you're asking to if you go and blind pick both of your solo laners on the very first rotation you have. Red side is supposed to be for counter picks. It's not supposed to be, yeah, cool, here's our top, here's our mid. You do what you want with the rest of your composition. You know we're going for this poke style. So when you look towards FPX, they just go, okay, cool, we'll go heavy engage. We've got Ornn, we've got Leona, we've even got a damn Galio on top of that. And anytime you hope to do anything, we're just going to kill you.
And I think off the back of game number 1 here, we need to see IG taking a page out of JDG's book here, because JDG are a team that loves to fight. They love to show off their mechanics as well. But it's a bit more controlled, and we need to see a little bit more control out of IG. This Shy, by the way, after getting rinsed the entire game, still touched the damage charts on Jace. That's why people respect Ban It Away.
It doesn't matter, though. The problem is more the impact. You can get the damage you want onto Khan, but he's only going to feel it as a tickle with the health bar he'd built up. Same with Doinb. even Crisp, you've got these 3 beefcakes who are just sponges for that damage, so it doesn't really matter at the end of the day. What we need to see is IG going back to that early portion of the game, getting control, making sure that Doinby is not able to get these roams off, and then when you look towards the side lanes, you're not having these dives consistently coming through, you're not having Tien picking you off in the river in this 2v2 scenario. It felt like IG never really got off the ground running, and then looked to the right and realized that FPX were miles in the lead.
And, you know, let's talk about the Graves jungle again coming out from Tien, because one of the criticisms of Graves jungle, one of the reasons that often you don't see it in professional, is it doesn't offer much CC, it doesn't offer much engage of its own. When you've got a Galio in the mid lane and an Ornn in the top lane, and those are the lanes you want to play around, Graves seems great. Graves seems like the perfect jungler to me.
And just in case you were missing a bit more engage, you've got Leon on the bottom side. You've got all the options that you want, and especially what Graves likes to shine off of is when he's able to get a lot of farm. He's got strong solo laners or even that bottom lane that can push in, so maybe he can steal away a camp, he can secure these scuttle crabs for himself, and that's exactly what FPX managed to do when you've got Doinby who's getting ahead. You've also got Con now in a matchup where both of them shouldn't be winning. They should be the ones that are getting pushed in. Off of this early game plays, they dictated the pace of the lane. Con even got a solo kill onto the Shy, and from that point on, Tien was just open to take over from the jungle role.
And that he did. He was able to take over, and Doinby in the mid lane as well, getting 4 kills early into the game. At that point, it felt like IG was shut out. We'll see if they can change their fortunes here, because this is a best of 5. There's plenty of time for IG to get back on this horse. Let's find out if they can right after the break. But Rogue Warriors can't find anything.
The Nexus is exposed. Puff doesn't have enough mana to see this play through to the end, so they'll defend for now. And IG with a low time Ken. Are they going to do it?
Oh, they're going for the back door. In goes Southwind. In goes Puff. What a way to end it all. Just going to find the Mordekaiser once again. 1v1 between the top laners, Chenlun. He's attacking the wrong monkey again. A nice dodge away. Bullet time across the team. Chenlun out of the Death Realm and into the grave. Now the rest of our LNG going to be backing away from this one. Xiaohu trying to get it. Ming flashes forward, misses everything. Empress Divide from Maple. Betty getting onto the backline in the meantime. He finds 2 for himself. Make it 3 as well. RNG ace LNG.
And just a reminder, you can crit on that.
Oh, Clement, what I care right
Never
now
mind.
is Doinby's going to do moonfalls and 3 members. In comes Christopher off as well. Puff flashes back though. Cleanses is still alive. Look at Puff, the new 80 carry. Does enough damage. That's 2. That's 3. Count it with me, ladies and gentlemen. That's Invictus Gaming.
So way ahead.
Yeah, Dredge line, Wink still hitting for the back here. Kingan not really in the fight kind of position. But there's the package right down the middle. Cryin has burnt everybody. Call it now. That's game over. IG savor the turret with the TP coming through. That's a Vayne without ulti, but it's a Shy way too deep. He's looking for Betty. Now might be in a bit of trouble. Flashes away. Good condemn. Cleansed away by Betty as Puff is now joining the play. IG continuing forward. The kick onto 2 people. RNG trade back, but the Shy now has free access here. RNG get destroyed by this Vayne.
Here, this was beautiful. The turn onto Xiaohu was 100% the correct call here. You can burst out this Kassadin, who hasn't got the fully stacked Rod of Ages. He was only at 7 stacks coming into this fight and had only just finished the Archangel Staff. No Seraph's Embrace to try and bring up that shield, and then he turns it. Easy as you like.
Very similar star power in people like Sword Art, people like
yeah, that's a flash forward. Angel is ticking down the Ignite, and that is a confident play. What are you doing here? This is so cheeky. Blast Cone and Peekaboo. Flash, Nautilus, Ignite, Dredge line, auto attack. Junja gets 1v1 by the support of Vici. And we begin again. 6,000 health. EDG in front, 5,000, 4,000, Junja, the ult's going down, he's deleted. Jungler from EDG is dead. Call the Forge God now to re-engage. Well, look, Xiaohu incoming! It's the Castanen on top of them. Hope is trying to carry this one though. Can he turn it around for EDG? Ning trying to stop him, but he's free hitting. Look at Hope, look at Hope, look at Hope! He gets him! Xiaohu goes down into GA. Audi lives as well. The death grab, the fight forward. It's Hope and Audi. He's hitting the Ornn so damn hard. EDG win the fight, and Hope, welcome to the LPL.
The last Hope play coming out from VG pays off huge. Xiao Wei looking for a quadra kill. The damage is going to be there. He has the death cap. Can he finish anyone off though? That's going to be the question. Bombs go on in. Maestro's going to go down. Forge is the next target. The Infernal Drake doing so much work as Xiao Wei making the plays. Xiao Peng is here to support his mid laner as well. iBoy dodges the bombs though.
He's running out of...
Oh, look at him chasing down. Oh my days, the triple kill for Xiao Wei.